Come, let us explore. What happens when you stop fighting stress? Spoiler alert, meditation helps. As we go through life, empathy can be our guiding star. Sadly, for 90% of the population, it is fear that is our North Star. And that, like Lord of the Rings, where we learned that the orcs were elves that were corrupted by Sauron, similarly, when we are corrupted by using fear as our North Star, we become rigid, fearful, superstitious, controlling, elitist, cryptic, competitive, and cruel. And those who are elitist, those who are controlling, love to exploit us. They make themselves feel good by making us feel bad. And they will look at us and when they see that we are obviously stressed, often because of conditions that they created, they will use that as a spiritual indictment to beat us down, to tell us that we need to buy another book or buy more treatment or buy counseling or buy blessings or buy membership in this new temple. No. Buddha never charged for nothing. Don't trust a Lama or a Shifu or a Roshi or an Ajahn who has their hand out. They lie to us and tell us that if we were just more spiritual, if we just had more faith, if we just refused to believe in a permanent self, nothing would bother us ever. Malarkey. When the Buddha taught of no self, he was using it as a metaphor. Let's break it down to a simile. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever identity, whatever sense of self we might have noticed during our previous inhalation could feel less dynamic, less permanent, less defining, less graspable. That is, of course, until our next inhalation, where the cycle begins anew. So, similarly, the Buddha taught of impermanence, but also changelessness. He taught of death and deathlessness and birthlessness. What was he talking about? What drugs were he on? Was he on? And how can we get some? Simple. His drug of choice was literature. And he was using metaphors. It's quite simple. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever birth or death or change or time we might have noticed during our previous inhalation could feel birthless, deathless, changeless, timeless, at least momentarily, at least fleetingly during our exhalation. Einstein warned us that any educated idiot can make things more complicated, more difficult, and more violent. But it takes a lot of courage and a little bit of genius to move in the opposite direction. We evolved the capacity to notice peril, not because some real or imagined celestial entity got their jollies off of watching us squirm, but because of evolution selects simply for one thing: living long enough to procreate. It's tough to procreate once we've been gobbled up by a predator. Therefore, the capacity to recognize circumstantial peril and physical peril and interpersonal peril and even mental peril is crucial to our genetic imperative to live long enough to pass on our genes. Now, within the vast expanse we call a brain, within the 3-pound supercomputer between our ears, there are many, many components organized in various teams, if you will. The first team is just pure survival, and it is wired to give us acute, short-lived pleasure, just enough to make sure that we'll keep drinking when we're thirsty, keep eating when we're hungry, keep copulating when we have a chance, keep sleeping when we're tired, keep waking up when it's time to get up. However, there's another system that's predicated not upon competition but cooperation, and it rewards cooperation with a sense of fulfillment. It gives us awareness, peace, and love. And these are the things that poets and psychologists tell us give life meaning. So yes, in the short term, stress is useful to keep us alive. It's an excellent tool, but a very bad boss. To the liberation the Buddha offers us is not liberation from the presence of stress, because once again, it's a useful tool. It's liberation from the tyranny of stress, from the rule of stress. It takes stress off the pedestal and says, you are no longer the main character. You are a part of the cast, part of an enormous cast, but no longer the main character. Let's chant. Let us make the most of this precious opportunity by vulnerably noticing interdependent stress and exploring its impermanence. A life squandered in greed and competitiveness leads neither to peace nor fulfillment. Let us perform this following chant and gesture. It's a wonderful reminder, a wonderful tonic for our loving intention. All I have and crave I give to all. All I have and crave I give to all. All I have and crave I give to all. We come, so Yoga Tantra could be described in terms of Mahayoga, Anu Yoga, and Ati Yoga. This is Anu Yoga, Tigle in Tibetan, which refers to energy work. This particular one is known as calling the Lama from afar, in Tibetan as Lama Kyano. This statue represents us, the meditator, and this bit here represents either the teacher or the teaching, whichever you feel most comfortable with. This is an editing opportunity. Let's hit insert and put an accent over that bad boy. Here we go. Lama, come to this crown. Lama, come to this crown. Lama, come to this crown. No, Virginia, there's no need to believe or to visualize. If all we do is play with these words, that is enough. Every time we inhale, we automatically access the middle bit of our spinal cord known as our sympathetic nervous system. This bad boy has evolved to notice in a very special way to help us to notice vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly, mind's antics. You know, seeing, hearing, feeling, tasting, smelling, and the like, including the full spectrum of human emotions, intentions, thoughts, memories, and imaginings. So, rather than indulge our controlling tendencies, we practice vulnerably and passively, neither pushing or pulling, but simply working with whatever comes up, whether that which comes up is external or internal, physical or mental, pleasurable or painful, interesting or boring, glorious or grotesque. But what are we to do with that which we notice? Every time we exhale, we have evolved to automatically access the end bits of our spinal cord, kind of like bookends on a shelf. This system, these end bits, are described as our parasympathetic nervous system, and they've evolved to help us to physically relax and mentally release to such a degree that which we noticed during our previous inhalation could fleetingly feel less stressful, less permanent, and even less defining. Humans are prone to use figures of speech. Let's explore a very poignant one, a very famous one in meditation circles. Background. Quick review. As we relax into our exhalation, that which we noticed during our previous inhalation could fleetingly feel as non-graspable as a vast empty void, like the illusion of the infinite azure sky on a bright and beautiful cloudless morn, which although could look tantalizing to the eye, feels non-graspable to the hand. We said all that to say this. What is the essence of mindfulness? Noticing mind's antics. And it's best practiced simply by silently and mentally reciting the verb watch every time we feel air enter our nostrils. Meditation is simply relaxing into mind's empty nature. And it's best performed by silently and mentally reciting the verb rest each time we feel air exit our nostrils. Together, let us practice right now. And the moment you have a specific question about Buddhist meditation or philosophy, do not hesitate to type your question in great detail in the chat window, for I tend to check for questions about once every 5 minutes or so. Additionally, if you, like me, are prone to arthritis, then I encourage you to gently adjust your legs about once every 15 minutes or so. Let us chant an explanation of this six-syllable mantra. Om, I invoke the Benza diamond-like strength of us, auto mind well-trained in mindfulness and meditation, who may all beings master this path. So we're shifting gears now. We explored the the tikle of energy work, and we explored the trek show of mindfulness and meditation. And now we come to Tokal's leap over pride's circumstantial obscurations to omniscience. Together. As we relax into our exhalation, circumstances or lots that we saw during our previous inhalation could feel as non-graspable or void as or Buddha's real or imagined paradise, pure land or vati of light. Let us silently and mentally recite a synopsis of that which we just chanted. One moment, let's see here. During the inhalation, we can silently and mentally recite the top line. During the exhalation, we can silently and mentally recite the bottom line. Let's do this 4 times. And now, over the next 4 inhalations, as we breathe, let's try this again. So for the next 4 inhalations, as we breathe in, silently and mentally, we can recite the synopsis. And as we exhale, we can physically relax as best we can while chanting 8 repetitions of this 6-syllable mantra. Om benza sato hung, 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 om benza sato hung. We come now to Tokal's leap over pride's physical obscurations to omniscience. Together. As we relax into our exhalation, the body or form that we felt during our previous inhalation could feel is not graspable or void, is an archetype of enlightenment or yidam of light. Om benza sato hung, 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 om benza sato hung. Now it's time for Tokal's leap over pride's interpersonal obscurations to omniscience. As we relax into our exhalation, all the communication that we heard during our previous inhalation could feel is non-graspable, or orders or Buddha's real or imagined speech or horizontal mantra rosary of light. Om Benza Sato Hung, 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 Om Benza Sato Hung. Let us now leap over pride's mental obscurations to omniscience. As we relax into our together, as we relax into our exhalation, all perception, emotion, intention, cognition, recollection, or imagination that we noticed during our previous inhalation. So, quick like a bunny, I wish to check something. Okay. So I'm going to add the word previous here. Not much room. Let's move this over here. And see if we can make this fit. Oopsie. Am I having trouble with the bottom row? I am. Okay. Let's go over here and turn that to 10. Maybe that'll work. Let's make that, let's just delete that and see if that works better. Much better. Okay, here we go. Thank you for your patience. Let's continue. From the top, as we relax into our exhalation, all perception, emotion, intention, cognition, recollection, or imagination that we noticed during our previous inhalation could feel as non-graspable or void as a Buddha's real or imagined seed-suitable bija hung of light. Om Benza Sato Hung, 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 Om Benza Sato Hung. We come to our second bit of energy work, known as Tikle's blending with the teacher's mind, or Lama Nalgeur. It's best if we don't take this, what's the word I'm looking for? Literally, but figuratively. Once again, the statue represents us, and the image represents either the teachings or our teacher, real or imagined, whichever we feel most comfortable with. Lama blend with this mind, Lama blend with this mind, Lama blend with this mind. So again, we come to our second set of Trek Cho's slice through the obscuring emotions of hope and fear. That doesn't mean we repress them. It simply means that we notice them and relax into them. As silently and mentally we recite the verb watch every time we feel our chest swell with breath, and silently and mentally we recite the verb rest each time we feel our lungs gently sink into exhalation. Let us chant an explanation of this 12-syllable mantra. I invoke the Umbadya speech and Hungman of the Benza Tantra Guru teacher, that his Pema enlightened practice and Siddhi dynamic love Hung may be mastered by all. We return to a different flavor of Tokal. This time it's Tokal's leap over jealousy's mental obscurations. Together, may all minds of all beings know me as joyfully enlightened as the mind of a real or imagined Buddha symbolized by a bija one syllable seed mantra or clay drop. Om Mahum Benzo Guru Me Maziri Hum. 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 Now let us leap over jealousy's interpersonal obscurations to omniscience. May all relationships, communication, all speech of all beings now be as peacefully loving as a real or imagined Buddhist speech or communication symbolized by this horizontal 12-syllable mantra. Om Mahum Benzo Guru Me Maziri Hum. 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 Now let us leap over jealousy's physical obscurations to omniscience. May all bodies or forms of all beings now enjoy the beautiful health depicted in Buddha's statuary of the blissful body of a Devi or Yidam, archetype of enlightenment such as Dorje Sampayamyum. Om Mahum Benzo Guru Me Maziri Hum. 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 Let us Loud, let us leap over jealousy, circumstantial obscurations to jealousy. I'm sorry. Woof. Circumstantial obscurations to omniscience. Let's try this real quick. And let's hit, where is the ampersand? Here it is. May all circumstances or lots of all beings now have the safety, good fortune, or boon. As a Buddha's real or imagined paradise per land or vanity. Om Ahum Benzo Guru Me Maziri Hum. 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 In our compassion may we long to free all beings from the toxic tyranny of heaven, hating, raving, and clinging, metaphorically known as the three mental poisons. In our pragmatism may our liberation for our others be fueled by following the Buddha's example, applying his instructions, and cooperating with his students. Described by the metaphor of the three wish-fulfilling jewels. Having sat for the better part of an hour, it might be invigorating to silently and mentally recite the synopsis of these past 3 pages while performing a variation of Tibetan-style Buddha bowing. This is optional. Oof, oof, here we go, here we go. All right. Okay. Oh. We real through the three jewels. May we free all through the three jewels. May we free all through the 3 jewels. Oh, oh. Okay. Let us conclude with wishes for the preservation of the Buddha's teachings. May each meditation teacher truly understand the Buddha's teachings and practice master as well as teach him generously, lovingly, and wisely in the manner of centered spontaneity. May each meditation teacher spontaneously receive generous patrons, enthusiastic students, as well as devoted apprentices. And thus may many Dharma centers be successfully planted, nurtured, and supported. You have taken your first step into a much larger world. If you feel that I have earned it, you could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could even help support this channel. In approximately 11 hours, I would very much like to return to lead today's evening meditation class and group practice. And if you are as geeky as me, may the Force be with you always.